Hello friends, welcome to my channel GoDigit. Today in this video we will learn about the concept of test pages in Business Central. So as you know that in this web client which I have already opened up in my screen, uh, user actually works at the UI level, and let's say if any user wants to work on the customer page, then they can directly click on this button and open the customer page, or they can search here as well and they can open up the customer page up here. When they open this page for the first time, the page will open up on basically depending on the user settings. It can be open up in an edit mode or the view mode, and on that basis when it will open up, uh, let me wait for some time. I don't know why it is taking time. Yeah, so it's open up. So as you can see that system opens up the list page, and from here user have plenty of options to do, right? They can select any particular record out of the available, and they can click on it to open the page in an edit mode, and they can then modify the data into it, right? If they want to edit, like if they want to create any new record, they can click on this new button which will open the blank page, and then they can enter the complete data inside on the customer page, right? If they want to click on certain action button like this one, they can directly do so from here, right? So there are so many options available for the user which they generally do at the UI level. Now how to test these things as well in order to give your user a very streamlined experience while using the Business Central. It becomes very essential that we need to test all these things as well which user will do, right? So as we know that the concept of ATDD is already available in the Business Center, so through that concept we will try to imitate the user actions through the data type called test pages. So test pages is nothing but a logical representation of the page itself, which means that any page which is a part of the Business Central are available through the test page data type also, right? So without wasting of further ado, let me open up the VS Code here, and as you can see that I have created one code unit, and here we will create some test procedures, right? So the procedure number one will be, let's say, find last record. Okay, and it will be a test procedure, so I will add a test attribute and then begin end, and now we will create a variable for the test page, and test page we will create will be of payment terms, right? So type test page here, and then you will select or type any page which is a part of BC are available through the test page data type also. Remember, this data type is only useful and available on the test code units as well. You cannot use them in the normal code units. Okay, now of course I need to add the semicolon, and then now let's say the payment terms dot. Okay, the very first thing which user will definitely do in order to go to the last record of the page is that they want to open the page, right? So there are functions available like open edit, open new, and open view, which are self-explanatory, that if you want to open the page in an edit mode, which means that you want to edit something, then you should select this. If you want to create a new data, then you should select this. If you just want to open it in a view mode without like you don't want to do anything, then open it in a view mode, right? So I have opened this up in the view mode, which means that now page will open up at the memory level, not at the UI level. Okay, now after this what I want to do is that I want to, I don't know why IntelliSense is not showing up here, payment terms dot last. I want to go to the last record. So if you type last, then this function is available for the test pages, which will take you to the last record of the page. And then let's say if I want to test the value of any particular field, that in the last record the field let's say the code, there's a field called code in this payment terms, and I just want to test that it should be equals to, let's say, go digit. Okay, so and then afterwards I can close the page. So what I'm currently doing in this record is, in this procedure, is that I'm opening the page in the view mode, going to the last record, then checking whether the value in the code field is equals to go digit or not, and then closing the page, right? So very simple, straightforward procedure. Now let's create a second procedure to understand second scenario of using the test pages. And this time what we will do is that we will create a record, right? And in order to create a record, there is one function which I showed you last time, which is called open new, right? So this time we will create a new record, and this function will basically open the page in a blank mode. So payment terms dot code dot set value, and this time I can type go digit. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that I'm using the page name, then the field of the page, and then the set value function on every field which is a part of this page, that I want to set the value called go digit into the field called code for the page payment terms, right? Simple, straightforward. Now payment terms dot, let's say I want to set another field which is called description and set value, but this time I want to set the same value which is a part of, which is in the code field. So I can use payment terms dot code dot value. Okay, so which is telling the system that whatever the value of the code field of the page payment terms, you should set that same value in the description field. Okay, now let's say payment terms dot discount percentage as well. I can set this up to, let's say, 50, and that's it. I am now done with the creation of new record, and I want to close the page. So let's close the page. Okay, so this is now what we have done is that we have created a new record. Now let's copy the procedure, and this time we will modify the record. Okay, so modify the record. To modification, let me create record variable as well, payment terms. Okay, so what we will do here is that okay, sorry, rec. All right, now rec payment terms dot set range code, and I want to search for go digit. Okay, then rec payment terms dot find first, then open this page, and because I want to modify, so I will now use the function called open edit, which means that page will be open up in a edit mode. So now after opening the page, I want to go to the record. I want to go to this record which is called go digit, right? So what I'm telling here the system, that because I have filtered my table with this go digit record only, find first, so this variable is now holding the record called go digit, and that is why I'm passing, or I'm telling the page using this function go to record that go to this record called go digit. Maybe this page, when you open using this open edit, it will have thousands of records. So out of those thousands, let's go to this record which is having the value called go digit. Okay, now after going to this record, now what you want to do, let's say you want to edit something, and what you want to edit, let's say any what is the field, like if I open this and open the page, payment terms, due date calculation. So let me use this payment terms dot due date calculation, not dot due date calculation dot set value as 2D. Okay. So now what I am doing here is that I have opened the record, I went to the same record called GoDigit, and now against that record I am updating certain fields, and after my modification is done I am now closing the page. Clear? So simple, straightforward thing. Now let's test the fourth scenario, and for this I'll copy this procedure, and this time I want to delete the record. So we have seen that in this page how to open any particular page in an edit mode, in a view mode, in a new mode, and how to create new records, how to modify the records, how to now we will see how to delete the records, plus we will see how to use the action buttons on the test page. Okay, so basically like through this code I am again filtering out the GoDigit record, finding going to the first only, that so that my variable holds only GoDigit record. Now I am, rather than I will open this in a edit mode, I don't want to edit any particular thing, so I'll just click on open view in an open view mode and go to record payment terms, and now I want to use the function, use the action button, like any action button which is a part of this page. So I have basically through this page extension I have created one action button called custom delete. Okay, and this is doing nothing but it is deleting the current record. Okay, so let's see whether this page this action button is available. Yes, this action button is available, called custom delete, and then dot invoke. So invoke means that now after going to that record, system is clicking the button called custom delete, the same operation which any user will do, like when they open the page, then they go to particular record and then they click the certain buttons, action buttons on the page on that particular record. So I'm doing the same thing. Okay, so this is how I will be deleting the records. Okay, so now my all four scenarios are done where through this test pages we can do certain level of actions. Let's build the project and let's deploy the project, and we will now run these test procedures to see how they are behaving in the system. Okay, so let's wait for some time. I don't know, my system is a little bit slow today. It is taking too much time even during the publishing mode also. Yeah, open up, let me close this one. Successfully deployed. Okay, now let me open up the payment terms page first. So if you see here that currently there is no such called GoDigit record, and the last record is COD. So if I now go to AL test tool and I will select the test runner code unit as isolation code unit, isolation disabled. Basically, as I have explained in my last video as well, that isolation disabled means that whatever data my test procedures will create, they will not get deleted into my from my database. Like they will be available, so that we will be able to see the like real data what my test procedures are creating, whether they are creating or not, and whether they are deleting the record or not. So that's why I have changed this to the isolation disabled. However, my suggestion, which I also explained in my last video, is that you should keep it simple and straightforward, which is isolation code unit only, because it will delete the data as soon as your test procedures are done with the creations, done with the processing. Okay, so that's how it is. I am not sure again why it is taking too much time. Let me refresh. Okay, so yeah, isolation disabled. Now let me click on get test code units and select my test code unit called utility functions. And you can see here that all my 4 functions are currently showing up. So let's run the first thing, which is find last record. And what it is doing, it is testing whether the last record is having the code value as Go digit or not. So obviously currently there is nothing like that. So if I run this, it will definitely get fail. Okay, so let's wait until it runs and it will show me the result as failure, which is, of course, expected is Go digit and actual is COD, right? I just showed you up. So now run this called create record and it will create a new record called Go digit. It's done, and let me show you up, because I have set the test code units are disabled. So the data which is created by my test procedures is now showing up in the payment terms called Go digit. Discount percent is 50, description is also same. So now let's see if I run this again, find last record, will it pass or not, because now the last record is having the value called Go digit. So let's run this up, and now the error is gone, because my last record is now having the code field as Go digit value, right? So my 2 functions are now done. Let's run the third procedure called modify record. So here I am modifying the existing record. So it's done. Now let's see whether it modified or not. Payment terms, and if you see here Go digit, the field called due date calculation now showing the value called 2D, which if you see the procedure, we have updated the due date calculation as 2D only, right? So that is how it is. Now the last function, which is called delete record, let's run this up. It's also successful, which means now the data called payment called Go digit is now not available, gone. And if I run this again, it will get failed, right? So this is how we can play with the test pages and test pages functionality, which I have shown you up in this through these 4 procedures into this test type code unit. So now I leave it up to you guys to explore it more and create more difficult scenarios, different scenarios, in order to learn more and more things about the test pages, because test pages have so many functions available, right? So you can explore all the functions accordingly based on your requirement. So that's it in the today's video. I hope you like it. If you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this.